left inside of every white girl is a strong black woman ready to bust out.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 20 dumbest reality TV show ideas.
What's wrong with you guys? My diamond earring came off in the ocean and it's gone. And there's people that are dying.
For this list, we'll be looking at the worst concepts behind supposedly unscripted series. However, we're excluding game shows because that's a different list entirely. Which reality TV show made you facepalm? Let us know in the comments. Number 20, My Big Fat Obnoxious Fiancé. In the early 2000s, the Fox network was quite the innovator when it came to crappy ideas for reality shows. In this one, Arizona schoolteacher Randy Coy had to successfully convince her family that she was engaged.
Only moments from now, a woman named Randy Coy, a first-grade schoolteacher from Arizona, will walk through these doors, having no idea what she's in for.
If she did, she would receive a prize of $500,000 to split with them. However, unbeknownst to Randy, the man who was pretending to be her fiancé wasn't on her side. His job was to be as outrageous as possible and offend her family, to make everyone uncomfortable for the show's run.
I'm going blank, I'm freaking out. The kid can't control himself. Steve cannot control himself. I mean, I'm in the middle of an interview right now and he's running around the house screaming.
So basically the audience is asked to watch a guy be annoying. That's just great. Number 19, Whisker Wars. Airing on the IFC, Whisker Wars followed a bunch of men who were obsessed with beard growing competitions.
The Olympic team has people who ski jump for America or throw shot puts for America. Beard Team USA grows beards for America.
Their ultimate goal was to test their facial hair in an international competition set in Norway, where their main rivals were the Germans. As if we needed one more thing that glorifies hipsters. These men took themselves so seriously, we don't know if it was sad or just silly.
Jack is the Tiger Woods of competitive bearding.
I've gotten the notoriety from my beard. I'm now turning that into profit.
We understand that beards are cool, but it's important to remember that you can't define yourself by something as trivial as having a lot of facial hair. Number 18, Flock Stars. This British reality competition series proved that producers across the pond can come up with some dumb ideas too. Flock Stars took a group of 8 celebrities and had them engage in sheep herding.
The dog then overexcites the sheep.
Oh, now what's happened? Hoggy, we've lost it.
And it all turns to chaos.
The stars, which included actresses, a rapper, and a Paralympic athlete, were mentored by sheep herding experts, and they later participated in challenges, with one of them getting eliminated each week. Many critics and viewers felt the show was more desperate than anything else.
As the weeks passed, Midge and Amanda's working relationship steadily improved.
Some agreed that its one saving grace was how attractive the shepherds who mentored the celebrities were. That's fun, but doesn't make this concept any good. Number 17, Date My Mom. In this dating show, a guy or girl had to pick one person to go on a date with. But to make their choice, this contestant first had to go on dates with those people's mothers.
I'm about to go on 3 dates with 3 moms to decide whose son I want to date. I can't even see these guys until I've made my decision. How wrong is that?
During each tete-a-tete, the pair got to know each other and the contestant got a feel for their potential future date. Keep in mind, this was their only window into the men or women they were maybe going to get romantically involved with. Then they had to decide which mother's child they wanted to date.
I brought everyone to the beach today because I'm ready to give one lesbian the gift that keeps on giving. Me.
The horrible premise pretty much speaks for itself, so we'll just say that this MTV show's approach to dating just feels plain wrong. Number 16, The Pickup Artist. Sadly, Mystery has made a name for itself through this method of picking up women. And in this VH1 reality competition, he advised a group of young men who had no luck with the ladies on how to score with them.
It's pretty horrible when people ask you, have you kissed a girl before? I'm like, yeah, on the forehead. But I don't really say, oh, it's my mom, because it's pretty embarrassing.
The men took the skills they got from Mystery and participated in various challenges. The show basically encouraged guys to be pestering creeps, and Mystery's loud choice of fashion made him look outright ridiculous. He came off as such a womanizing tool. There was even a Saturday Night Live sketch where Daryl Hammond's Bill Clinton dressed up like him for Halloween.
Bill, I thought we agreed to dress like bride and groom.
Oh man, everyone knows we're married.
Who are you even even supposed to be?
Mystery. From that show, The Pickup Artist.
Number 15, Temptation Island. Multiple couples go on an island and test their fidelity by splitting off and spending time with attractive members of the opposite sex.
So I'm looking for what I like about Catherine, and I'm comparing it to other girls. Maybe that's not fair, but there's not just one beautiful woman, there's many.
As you can imagine, this show generated a lot of controversy when it first came on air for promoting infidelity. However, after the initial shock went away, there wasn't much left, and the ratings reflected that. Thus, Temptation Island ended 2 years after it premiered. But just when we thought we were free of this atrocity, the show was brought back by the USA Network in 2019.
Yeah, that went exactly as I expected. How does it feel watching that again? Did you ever expect to see anything like that when you were at the bonfire?
And Mark L. Wahlberg even returned as the host, who says television's running out of ideas. Number 14, Farmer Wants a Wife. This has often been called The Bachelor set on a farm, so brace yourself. Matt Neustadt, who's been a farmer his whole life, had to choose a wife among 10 women who live in big cities.
Because the work ethic of a farmer's wife has to be relied on as much as the farmer's work ethic.
During their stay at his farm, the prospective spouses participated in a bunch of nature-related activities that were essentially designed to make them look stupid. So basically, a bunch of women from cities like Dallas and Los Angeles competed to see who got to live in rural Missouri.
Having to make the decision to send a gal home and not knowing if I'm doing the right thing, I was so nervous. I don't know that I've ever been that nervous.
We're sure it's a nice place to live, but it kind of seems like the top prize in this show was basically a life of boredom. Number 13, Born in the Wild. Lifetime aired this show about women who decided to give birth in the great outdoors for a more natural labor.
I'm excited to have my baby outside in Alaska. We're surrounded by the lake and the trees and the clouds and the mountains. It's absolutely breathtaking.
Each episode documented a different woman's experience and showed the unique challenges she and those who assisted her faced in their unconventional setting. Places that were chosen for giving birth included the woods and the Alaskan wilderness. The show was accused of encouraging expectant mothers to endanger both their lives and the ones of their unborn children.
Jeff is in a rush to get set up, but Amy wants to make sure that the birth matches the vision in her head.
Born in the Wild only has 6 episodes, which is really the only highlight here. Number 12, Splash. This reality competition show had celebrities compete against each other doing Olympic-style dives. The stars included Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Drake Bell, and Louis Anderson. Plus, Olympic gold medalist Greg Louganis acted as a coach, helping them with their routines. Unfortunately, the diving techniques the contestants were asked to perform were pretty high level and complicated. This led to many of them getting injured, while some even had to withdraw from the show. In hindsight, however, this sounds like an obvious drawback. It's safe to say the risks far outweighed the benefits with this series. Number 11, Sex Box. How do you get couples who need professional help to improve their relationships to be as prepared to accept advice as possible?
I don't know if this is kinky or crazy. I'm serious.
Well, if you ask this show, the answer is putting a lovemaking session smack dab in the middle of a so-called therapy session. Don't worry though, they do that part in the privacy of the title box. The thinking was that the couples would be more emotionally receptive to counseling after making love.
Role playing can be very, very fun. It can be very exciting. It can make a marriage hot, add spice like you never thought of.
Does that sound like a bad idea? That's because it was. The show got a lot of attention around the time it aired for its unorthodox form of therapy, but it also received a lot of criticism for being, well, stupid. Number 10, I Want a Famous Face. This MTV reality show found people who wanted plastic surgery to look like a certain celebrity and documented their journey through the process.
I want a rhinoplasty. She has the more plump cheeks, so I'd like to get fat grafts on my cheeks.
Some of the stars people wanted to emulate included Jennifer Aniston, Pamela Anderson, and Brad Pitt. It's definitely a time capsule of which celebrities were in at the time. But it was sad watching people give up their unique identity because they idolized a famous person or were insecure about their own appearance.
I want to look like Pamela Anderson because I think she is gorgeous. I love her sense of style, her body. She's really sexy. Every time I saw her, I was just like, oh my god.
Also, it seems short-sighted to want to look like a celebrity just because they're popular at the moment. What happens if their star fades in Hollywood or a scandal makes them a black sheep? Number 9, girlfriend intervention. This is yet another poor reality television offering from Lifetime. A group of 4 black women help a white woman find a more acceptable sense of style.
You know, in my culture, women are encouraged to try new things. But sometimes with my Caucasian sisters, I honestly feel like they just don't have the same type of freedom.
And they do all this while making catty remarks putting her down. It was often seen as another version of Queer Eye, but with outspoken black women. Except the show missed the mark completely and was called out by critics for playing on racial stereotypes.
No self-respecting black woman would ever hide herself in this if she wants to keep her black card.
Thankfully, Girlfriend Intervention only lasted for 1 season, with an 8-episode run that was painful to sit through. Number 8, Are You Hot? The Search for America's Sexiest People.
Good evening and welcome. I'm JD Roberto, and this is Are You Hot? The Search for America's Sexiest People.
This ABC show was a nationwide competition that was only concerned with judging contestants by their looks, instead of rewarding a well-rounded personality or unique talent.
What's it gonna be? Not.
Contestants stood scantily clad in front of a panel of 3 judges who gave their frank, if not creepy, opinions on the person's looks, pointing out the tiniest flaws.
I give your face a 9-9. You've got a beautiful face, beautiful hair. Body, I give you a 7-5.
As if that didn't sound bad enough, Judge Lorenzo Lamas would aim a laser pointer at contestants to highlight areas he wanted to focus on. The show was considered shallow even by reality TV standards. Number 7, Playing It Straight.
But not all of the guys are here for romance. Some of them are gay.
What? This show was a high-stakes test of gaydar. One woman was given the task of dating 14 men on a ranch to suss out which ones were gay.
I'm doing great.
I'm Lee.
So great. Hi, Lee. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Oh.
They said you were beautiful.
If she could pick the one that was straight, then the 2 would win $1 million prize. But if she picked someone that was gay, she would lose out on the prize, and the gay guy got to keep the money. So the gay men tried to pass off as straight so they could trick the woman and take the jackpot for themselves.
I really think the guys that kiss me tonight, I think they're straight.
Way to portray members of the LGBTQ+ community as devious frauds. Given how shameless reality TV shows can be, of course this was a premise for a show in the mid-2000s.
Ryan and Gus.
Definitely Bill, definitely Gus, and definitely Chris.
Number 6, Who's Your Daddy?
Why did you guys have to give me up for adoption?
It was a very turbulent time.
How controversial was this show? It was pulled after 1 episode. A woman was reunited with her biological father after having been given up for adoption, but not before having to identify him out of a group of strangers. If she can pick her real father out of 8 men in 3 rounds, then she gets $100,000. But if she guesses wrong, then the man she incorrectly identified walks away with the money, which gives each man the incentive to convince the woman that he's the real father.
So she wanted to keep me too, honestly.
This show needlessly opens up emotional wounds. Number 5, Keeping Up with the Kardashians. For 14 long years, the Kardashians and Jenners plagued the airwaves with a reality show about the drama that came out of their lives. Rather than read a book or learn a new skill, we sat and watched Kim, Kourtney, Khloe, and the rest of the family.
She's like, no, pay attention.
What do you want me to do? Sit here and stare?
We didn't do it because it was particularly stimulating, but rather because it was a guilty pleasure. Sure, it was a ratings hit for E! And a pop culture phenomenon that built up the profile of everyone involved.
Is that too much?
Why,
Is my shirt on right? Why would your shirt not be on right? Just one of those days.
But it also came at the cost of millions of our collective brain cells. And now there's the family's new Hulu show, so the worst is likely yet to come. Number 4, bridalplasty.
Every bride wants to look perfect on her wedding day, but some may need some extra help.
In this e-reality show, which resembles The Swan, 12 women who are about to get married live together in a house separated from their fiancés and compete against each other in challenges where the prize is a plastic surgery they've requested.
Hi ladies, I'm Shayna Mokler and welcome to Bridalplasty!
Each week, the women vote each other out of the house, and whoever wins the show gets the wedding of their dreams, and a whole bunch of plastic surgery to make them look good for their big day. While the show got a lot of attention for its controversial premise, it did not do well in the ratings, showing that there are some things even reality show viewers will not stand for.
I actually met my fiance on The Biggest Loser.
Really? Oh, really?
Wow. So anyone who saw that in December, my fiance proposed to me on TV at our finale.
Oh my gosh.
Number 3, I Want to Marry Harry.
Underneath all the trappings, he's not a prince at all. Just an ordinary boy who looks a lot like Prince Harry. Fourth in line to the throne.
A couple of years before Prince Harry tied the knot with Meghan Markle, this 2014 show brought a group of American women to England to compete for the affections of someone they're led to believe is Prince Harry. In reality, it's just some red-haired guy who kinda looks like the prince.
I have to convince them I'm Prince Harry, but the goal is for them to like me for who I am.
Somehow, the contestants are not allowed to meet any of Harry's other family members, just Harry. Doesn't sound fishy at all. Plenty of reality shows like Joe Millionaire trick contestants into believing something to be true, but none have been so obviously fake.
My greatest fear is the girls fall entirely for the whole scenario, and then when it's revealed I'm not from wealth or status, they'll just turn around and have no interest.
Number 2, Kid Nation. This controversial show from CBS had an insane premise from the get-go. 40 kids, whose ages ranged from 8 to 15, were put in a town in the middle of nowhere.
So how are you guys feeling?
Scared.
Well, say goodbye to that school bus and say hello to the middle of nowhere.
And they got to run things without any grown-ups telling them what to do. The children made all of the rules, from setting up their own businesses to forming their own local government.
When I saw those 4 kids, I was like, oh no, this is all gonna fall apart.
They also did their own chores. This reality show idea sounds like child endangerment. Maybe there's a reason kids have parents and guardians? Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You'll have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1, Married at First Sight.
The decision I make will forever affect my life, and it's just scary that I have to make this decision so soon.
Based on a Danish reality show, 6 strangers at a time are arranged into 3 couples by a group of professionals based on who they believe will be compatible with one another.
So now the time has come for your decision. Do you want to stay married, or do you want to get a divorce?
After a matter of weeks spending time as husband and wife, each couple then has to decide whether or not they want to continue their marriage. Astonishingly, this show has gone on and is somehow still finding people who are willing to ruin their lives for cheap reality programming. When will the madness end?
We weren't very awkward.
We really weren't. I think that's what I liked about us.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.